talking about the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People with Stephen Covey. And, when Robert Allen was going to college, he was an assistant to Stephen Covey. And Bob wrote his books and got bestsellers. And then Stephen Covey went to Bob and asked him for advice. And a neighbor that did a lot of our work and marketing and stuff like that, I helped edit and write the books and stuff like that. Good friends of mine, Dr. Blaine Lee, was worked with Stephen Covey that helped us with our challenge. And there's been lots and lots of people that have worked with Stephen as well as our group. So I'm really excited to have Ryan with us. Ryan, come on out. Let's talk a little bit about Stephen Covey and the 7 Habits for Highly Effective People.
Thank you so much, Tom. Well, today we're going to talk about the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen R. Covey. Now, if you're wondering if this is one of our materials here in Foundation, you can see it in our website 3.3, all courses, and you'll be able to find it. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People is one of the books that was authored by Stephen R. Covey. Stephen actually a remarkable education background. He attended University of Utah, Harvard University, and then he even received his doctorate in religious education from Brigham Young University. And he became a renowned educator, author, speaker, consultant, working with top organizations worldwide. And one of the reasons why Stephen Covey kind of was motivated to write this book is because he was like worried of the things that he was having during the days, because almost all the books that he was reading were just focusing on what he called personality ethic. So he wanted to focus on character ethic, because that character ethic, emphasizes integrity, responsibility, and long-term growth. That's why no wonder this material is being in our website right now, because we have the same vision as Stephen R. Covey. This book, as I said earlier, has 7 habits. Number 1, be proactive. The second habit is begin with the end in mind. Third habit is put first things first. Fourth is think win-win. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. Then number 6 is synergize. And number 7 is sharpen the saw. This is actually a fantastic visual framework of the book. The diagram shows a journey from dependence and independence and interdependence, which is, I think, incredible. So right here, you can see the pre-growth stage, which is the dependence. This is actually the where our growth begins. Our effectiveness is limited because we haven't yet developed personal responsibility, for example, for our financial status. But there's nothing wrong with being dependent. But as I said, it's actually the baseline from which growth begins. And as you continue, you will gain private victory as you develop these 3 habits right here, which is being proactive, having the responsibility, and then habit number 2, begin with the end in mind, having the right vision, and habit number 3, putting first things first and having the discipline. So as you do those 3 habits, as you master them, you will gain private victory, and that's going to move you to being independent. So you see, as I said, you can't be truly effective with others until you are effective with yourself. So internal transformation is very necessary. It's actually winning battles within yourself on how you control things or on how you respond to many situations in our lives. So the foundation is like that as well. Our foundation works inside out and not outside in. And as you continue, you will go from being independent to interdependence, and you are going to be collaborating effectively with others, and therefore gaining public victory. As you develop habit number 4, you think win-win. And habit number 5, seek first to understand and to be understood. And habit number 6 is synergize. And for you to be able to uh, do those things again, you have to do the habit number 7, which is sharpen the saw. Now, we will not be discussing all the habits in this session, but we're just going to talk about one habit per session. Now, first, let's have the first habit here, the be proactive. Habit number 1, be proactive. I am convinced that highly proactive people don't just sit and wait for things to happen, but they do something to make things happen. Now, allow me to make a weird presentation here. Um, this is my family. My mom was a high school teacher, and my dad was a tricycle driver. I am the youngest of us. There were 3 of us. I have 2 brothers, and our life back then was really hard. It was tight because of our financial status back in the days. And just like Tom, I had the desire to, serve a Christian mission. So what I did is I applied to a particular bakery here where I became a vendor. So I sell bread. I used to go out and then sell these many types of bread, varieties of bread. And then there's a quota that I needed to achieve in order for me to be able to, hit the goal and then get the salary that I wanted. And then I was able to serve a Christian mission. And then going back, I still remember it was actually in October. And then in December, we wanted to visit one of our uncles, a family. And then it was in the afternoon, and then we were walking on the streets, and it was very hot because we didn't have any vehicles during those times. And then I look at my mom. She was already old. I mean, she's already senior citizen. And then I thought to myself, I need to do something for my mom. So that time I had the desire to at least buy a car, even if it's just a crappy one. I wanted to buy one. And so I just made that happen. I was able to buy a crappy car. I know it's not really a very prestigious one, but it actually blessed our lives. It blessed the life of my oldest brother, my second brother, and my life, and even my mom. So it was the first car in our family, and I was very happy because I was able to make that happen. And in the Philippines, I don't know, but in the Philippines, there are many weird car enthusiasts where they wanted to collect these old cars, specifically Hondas and Mazda, and they want to kind of customize those cars. They want to spend their resources and time with those cars because they're kind of old, and they feel like they're being fulfilled when they're able to get those kinds of cars. And so what I did, one of the things that I learned from Tom is that if you're going to change something on one of your properties, for example, you have to ask yourself if it's going to add value to it. So what I did is I repainted it. I added more lights and other accessories to add to its value, and hoping that I'll be able to. I did not have any plan to sell it at first, but because of the things that I am learning here in Foundation, I kind of had a desire to kind of flip it and added value to it, and hoping that it's going to be sold for a higher price than when I bought it. And it was just amazing to have this experience because I've never had a motorcycle or anything like that before, but I made this happen. Moving forward, of course, I was able to get married, and now we have a beautiful daughter, just turned 1 in July. We're very blessed, and we're having a wonderful family right now. And when I served the Christian mission, I knew that I will be losing all the credentials that I had in the university because of the change of the educational system in the Philippines. But I went to that Christian mission anyway, and I made things happen. And then when I went back, it was just a miracle because I applied to a, a scholarship in our local government uh, unit here, and I was granted a full scholarship. So I was able to attend to college and finish my bachelor's degree without paying even a single penny. And because I wanted to become, more proactive, I really did my best and made things happen. And so as a result, I aced my academics. I was able to, uh, uh, you know, I I was a number one in our batch. And in these pictures, you can see I was delivering my valedictorian speech because they asked me to kind of share my thoughts about the things that I've gone through during my college training. For many Filipinos, education is very important, and so it's also very important for me. That's why I thought I just needed to make this happen. And one of the milestones as well that I have experienced with my wife is, of course, to buy our first property. This is how it looked like. This is the house that we bought. Um, but before buying this house, we were actually living with our mom. So, and then until we just wanted to make things happen, we did not let our situation to hinder us from achieving our goals and our dreams. And so we bought our first property, and we were very happy. That's Daryl right there, and Kath, and the birthday girl, Kelsey. And it's just awesome. It was fantastic. And as I said earlier, if you want to change something on one of your properties, you got to ask yourself if it's going to add value to it. So now it's currently under renovation to add value to it. And hopefully I'll be able to replicate what Tom had done, hopefully, to do the 5 apps in this property. Probably you'll be asking, so where are you gonna live if you sell this house? Well, my mom's gate is always open for us. She would love to have us back since she's just living by herself now, and she's 70. And so hopefully I'll have a success here. That's actually me. I wanted to experience it. I wanted to do it myself to kind of put myself in the shoes of the workers. So I kind of helped to uh, do some fence here and uh, other works here. So it was a wonderful experience. Now you may be asking why uh, I started my presentation the way I did. The reason is because how you live your life is your first message to the world. I totally agree with what Tom mentioned earlier, that good parents uh, give their children good memories. And so I just want to, give my daughter and my future children good memories, and that's why I wanted to experience these things so I can share it to them, and they can also do it. They can become proactive as well. Now, the habit number one actually teaches us as human beings, we are responsible for our own lives. That's what it teaches. We have the initiative and responsibility to make things happen. If you are a proactive person, you have the responsibility to make things happen. Now, I want you to know the word responsibility, responsibility. It is our ability to respond. And highly proactive people recognize that responsibility. And proactive people don't blame their situation and environment. Because if they do, they become reactive. And you see, reactive people, they are affected by their physical and social environment. When the weather is good, they're happy. When the weather is good, they're in a good mood. But if the weather is bad, It affects their attitude and their performance. They're being affected of their physical environment. And for social environment, if people like them, they feel good as well. And if people don't like them, they become defensive or protected. Now, some of you have business. Most of the times we encounter unreasonable customers, right? Um, and we always say customer is always right. But of course, as you know, that's not a literal absolute truth, but rather it's a strategic plan, right? To build trust among customers. But if you are reactive people and then your customers don't like your product or your service, you become defensive and you become protective. Now, if you are a reactive person, then you feel bad about it. That's how you feel. But proactive people, they subordinate an impulse to a value. I'm not saying that they are not influenced anymore by their environment. They are still influenced by the environment, by external stimuli, but their response to that particular situation is a value-based response. They're always driven by values. Now, reactive people, they are driven by feelings. They are driven by circumstances and by conditions. Now, the foundation teaches us not to become reactive people. The foundation teaches us to become proactive people. And when it comes to budgeting, the foundation teaches us to have um, budgeting with intention. That's why if you still remember, that's why Tom introduced the money manager. Before it was money tracker, but it was renamed to money manager because you're going to manage it. You're going to make things happen in your budgeting. And secondly, the foundation teaches us as well to invest early. And when we invest, we start investing even small amounts rather than waiting for the perfect time. Perfect time was actually 50 years ago. And guess what? The perfect time to invest is now, at this very moment. And the foundation also teaches us to have this education, success in money classes. As a proactive person, you just don't wait for someone to teach you, but I think that's important. But you have the responsibility to seek out resources and mentors. And we are so blessed because we have the foundation already. We have a bunch of resources here. And we have a proactive mentor who's actually doing it, who is actually making things happen. And that's, I think, very important for us to realize how blessed we are that we are here. One of the books that I've read before, it was written by Thomas Erickson. It's a book about employees. The title was Surrounded with Bad Bosses. It says there, and I think this is also applicable for all of us, if you really want to change your workplace, you're going to be obliged to work with the only element you are in complete control with, and that is yourself. You first have to change yourself. And in order that change to be effective, you have to change your perception and your response. You need to be proactive. When I read this, it reminds me about the two salesmen. And this teaches us about how our response are, very important. So there were two salesmen. They sell sleepers, and both of them were sent to Africa. It was just a story. So both of them were sent to Africa to sell sleepers there. So when they got there, salesman number one called his boss, and he said, "Boss, this is a very bad idea that you sent us here." And then the boss asked, "Why?" And then the salesman replied, "People here don't wear sleepers. No one's going to buy sleepers from us. And then the salesman number 2 called his boss and said, "Boss, this is a great opportunity. Thank you for sending us here." And then the boss said, "Why is that?" The salesman replied, "People don't use sleepers here. We're going to sell them sleepers. We're going to make more money." So you see, it's our perception. It's our response. If we want to have a positive result, we need to have a positive response to our situations. Problems are universal, but our response is individual. And of all the people that I know, you guys, one of one of the people I know who is very proactive is this person. You know, when he was a teenager, he already had his investment accounts and businesses. And guess what? His money is making 12% for him. That's just crazy. That's fantastic. And he was being taught by his proactive father until such time that he went to high school and college. And then he was already buying properties during that time. I still remember when I was in college, I just didn't know where to get my fare or for my lunch. But this guy was already buying properties when he was in college. But guess what? He had a heart attack. And that scared the freak out of him. He was very worried. He was scared to death because of that incident. Because he was worried who's going to take care of his family financially. And so he was blessed because he had a second chance. And he was able to meet many people, proactive people. He actually met Bob Allen, and he actually applied for a job, not because he needed a job, but he just wanted to be around the people who are making difference, who are making things happen. And he was become successful. He became successful, and he was able to kind of consolidate and encapsulate all the things that he had learned, all his experiences into one. And that's why he was able to create a foundation. And that person, folks, is none other than our founder. It was Tom Painter. He just made things happen. He proved that being proactive can bless many people's lives. He created a foundation. You and I are being blessed right now. We have these resources. We are being taught how to manage our money. We are being taught of the 7 habits. And in his situation, his experience when he had a heart attack, he did not let that situation dictate his future. He just did not sit and wait for things to happen. He did not wish for things to happen. Rather, he worked so that things will happen. And I think that's just huge. That's just something that we have to emulate. And I think that's one of the epitomes of being proactive. And with that, I'd like to re-echo the words of Tom. Make a difference. Make it happen. Remember that every life is precious. If you want to have a positive result, you need to have a positive response. Thank you so much for watching.
Thanks, Ryan. That's pretty incredible. Thank you guys for making a difference. You can see that he's on his path. He's on the right journey, making it happen. And if he can do it, you can do it. So just follow what he's doing, follow what we're doing.